Now, it wasn't that long ago, if you believed that Chinese secret agents were in Canada transferring viruses over to the People's Republic Army, you'd be considered out to lunch or even wearing a tinfoil hat. But, well, we can add this to the list of things that actually did happen. This was the scene last week at the end of the week for, of course, you know, it's always on Fridays that they drop this kind of news. Yeah, this was late last week, and it is a bombshell.
That our highest placed, most sensitive lab was infiltrated by people who collaborated with the People's Liberation Army, who did not reveal any of their ongoing partnerships with the regime in Beijing. And who transferred materials from our most critical lab containing our most dangerous viruses over to Beijing and worked in collaboration with the Wuhan lab. So I don't think this is the kind of collaboration we want. We should be collaborating with like-minded democracies that we can trust, not those that want to attack our interests.
This is absolutely insane that this is the world we actually live in. But yeah, of course, Justin Trudeau asked for comment. This is what he had to say.
There's a level of admiration I actually have for China.
Yeah, I'm joking. This is his basic dictatorship moment.
Because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime.
Yeah. Okay, we all know that moment. Justin Trudeau, admiration for the basic dictatorship of China. I think he's pretty silent on this one as of yet. Now, this is a story from Zero Hedge. All the links will be in the description down below, by the way. Go check that out. Trudeau government virologist who transferred Ebola to Wuhan had clandestine relationship with Chinese agents. Bombshell intel reveals. This is crazy. I'm going to try to pronounce this name. It's going to be ridiculous. Jian Guo Kui and her husband, Keean Cheng, two scientists at the National Microbiology Laboratory in Winnipeg, Canada, were stripped of their security clearances and fired over questions about their loyalty to Canada, as well as the potential for coercion or exploitation by a foreign entity, according to more than 600 pages of documents made public Wednesday. Well, who knew about all this stuff? Who had access to this? Well, that's right. The Prime Minister of Canada had access to all of this information. Again, links will be in the description down below about this. Now, I'm going to get into this in a second here, but this is Keean Bexte, who was writing about this on Twitter. This is insane. Remember, Justin Trudeau sued the House of Commons to prevent them from publishing this. He said his government hired Chinese nationals who infiltrated and compromised the security of Canada's top biosafety containment facility. Yes, that's right. This is right as we were having a pandemic. Where did that come from? Oh, you guessed it, Wuhan. That's right. Fired scientists played down links to China, failed to protect information, documents are suggesting. And this is from CTV News. Again, links are in the description. We'll let this one play.
The Canada-China Committee in 2019 could have done exactly the same job as the ad hoc committee did, and we could have had the documents 3 years ago. The CSIS assessments released yesterday make it clear the PRC is and was actively recruiting top Canadian scientists to plunder Canada's research and intellectual property. The assessments also make clear that the PRC wants to weaponize this civilian research for military purposes against us and our allies. Knowing what we know now, will the government halt all collaboration between the Winnipeg National Microbiology Laboratory and any entities and individuals in the People's Republic of China?
Spoiler alert, they won't. They call it question period for a reason. There are no answers ever brought up in that. Now, let's get back to Keean Bexte, who's reporting on this, and I'll leave a link in the description down below for this article, because this is really good. Have a read through it. Despite the Liberals citing the departure as private personnel issue, the Canadian Security Intelligence Services, or CSIS for short, accuses Dr. Kui, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Dr. Kui, of a long history of clandestine actions that put Canadians' health and security at risk, along with direct assisting military research in Canada. Now, the Canadian government cracking down on its own citizens for the sake of their safety and their health. Why is it that they wouldn't crack down on these individuals who are not looking out for our safety, let's just say the least? Keean Bexte also putting on Twitter saying, just months before the pandemic started spreading from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the scientists there off the books working with bat viruses that had specific lethal military applications. This from the report. With regard to CISA security assessment dated 30th of June 2020, at paragraph 54, the service assesses that Miss Quee was reckless in her dealings with various PRC entities working with the institutions whose goals have potentially lethal military application and that are manifestly not in the interests of Canadian or its citizens. He went on to say the deadly pathogens were the perfect candidate for gain of function research as per CSIS. The work involved a bat-borne disease, and they were working on cross-species applications. Now, this is stuff that's illegal in Canada. Why would they bring it all the way to China and be in cahoots and in collaboration with these people that were doing this? Well, I guess you guys can answer that for yourself. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if you have an idea what may be happening there. Sorry for these are really difficult to read, so small. This was to assess cross-species infection and pathogenic risk of bat filovirus for future vaccine development purposes, which suggests that gain of function studies were possibly to take place. Now, I believe that stuff is illegal, but you'll have to let me know in the comments down below. Noé Chartier also reporting on this. The Chinese restricted visitor at Winnipeg lab would save data on a flash drive and then take it home. Another would access the computer networks by using credentials from one of the fired scientists. Now, of course, it's a bombshell. Now, if this is again one of those cases where CSIS had this information, so then obviously they briefed the Prime Minister of Canada on this type of information. Why is it that Justin Trudeau and his cabinet, who are privy to this information, would have done nothing about it? And these are the questions that are being asked by Pierre Poilievre himself as he gets into this.
We already knew that Justin Trudeau was not worth the cost, the crime, the corruption, and the cover-up. But now we know that he cannot protect our people or our country. We just received these documents that Trudeau has been covering up for years. Documents related to a massive security breach at the Trudeau government's most sensitive laboratory, where the most dangerous viruses and pathogens are studied and handled. We have learned that the Trudeau government's head of pathogens was collaborating with members of Beijing's People's Liberation Army who are responsible for bioweapons and bioterrorism. We know now that a People's Liberation Army official was able to gain personal access, walk in the door, look at computers, and have access to all of our most important virological secrets. If you think any of this is hyperbole, read the report yourself. This is from government documents, the Trudeau government's own documents. It says here on page 142, Winnipeg lab scientist Dr. Chu is head of the Special Pathogens Unit, the top person in that job. According to documents on page 242, quote, represents a serious and credible danger to the government of Canada as a whole, and in particular at facilities considered high security due to the potential for theft of dangerous materials attractive to terrorists and foreign entities that conduct espionage to infiltrate and damage the economic security of Canada, end quote.
Unbelievable that this is actually happening in our country. I know we have been asleep for so long politically. We've also, it seems, been asleep in a security way for our, our borders and our military, our intelligence, all of this stuff. It seems that they're doing their job in CSIS, but I mean, they're just lame ducks if the people that they're supposed to be giving this information to do nothing with it. Well, I mean, you can infer your own motives there if you like. But as always, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. Of course, many people have been talking about this for years, but now it is official. Now it is no longer conspiracy theory. This is historical fact at this point. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.